Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well on this Wednesday morning or afternoon if you're on the East Coast. We're presenting out of Utah today. This is Mike Templeman. I'll be the presenter, and we're just going to give it another moment for everybody else to kind of trickle in. We've got a pretty full house today for attendees, so we just want to make sure. There is a questions tab. You're able to fill out any questions you may have during the webinar. I'll be sure to answer as many as I can at the end. Try and keep it as a little bit of a Q&A. We'll be going over a couple of strategies and techniques rather quickly. I'm not going to dive super deep into them. Well, I will, but there's always questions that end up having. So if you do have any questions regarding anything we talk about, just let me know, and then we will address those at the end. Just to see if everything's working well, does anybody want to put in where they're attending from in that questions tab, see where we can get some attendees from, and then also make sure that everybody can see my screen and the sound is working. So we've got Seattle, Washington in the house, Des Moines, St. John's, Newfoundland, another Canadian. Love it. I'm from Canada originally. Philly, Arlington, Chattanooga. I actually spent some time just south of Chattanooga in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Grew up there for a little bit. Man, we got everybody from all over the place. Very cool. All right, so everything's working. We will go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be covering three techniques that are rather advanced on digital marketing, but that I don't see deployed often, but they're actually not very hard to deploy, and they're anybody can do these, which is great. They don't cost money, well, a lot of money at all, and they can produce some ridiculous results when done correctly. And so these are things that in working with, dozens of companies with the agency, I can maybe count on one hand the times I've come into a marketing environment and have seen these tactics already being utilized. So most time they're missing. Most time people do the basics, but then don't go down to the advanced level, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. So the webinar today is being presented in partnership with Bridgeline and Foxtail Marketing. So Foxtail Marketing, we are a full funnel digital marketing agency. I'm Mike Templeman. I'm the founder of Foxtail. And Bridgeline Digital, we are actually doing it with their Unbound product today, is a marketing automation suite. Great product, great software, love it actually. And if you are in the market for a marketing automation suite or are getting tired of paying for thousands of contacts, they actually don't charge you based on contacts, which is awesome. You should check them out. Okay, real quick, talking to my Newfoundland brother up there, or sister. I didn't actually see, it's too far back, can't go back. But I am Canadian as well. Founded Foxtail Marketing, have 3 kids, 1 on the way, and write for Forbes, Entrepreneur, a couple of other publications. I am a 80s movie aficionado, and I will debate the glories of Van Damme with anybody for hours, because he is the pinnacle of movie making magic, in my opinion. All right, so let's get right into the 3 tactics that we're going to cover today. First one we're going to talk about is actually going to be talking about social media. I am going to focus pretty heavily on Facebook for that, but I do want to kind of go over all of the tactics in social media. We are going to hit on remarketing and retargeting, and then I'm going to give you guys a SEO hack that can produce some results almost instantaneously in many situations. So let's go through that, and we'll start at the top and go down. So technique number 1 that we're going to talk about is in growing your social following. Okay, so as we look at the social landscape, we have Facebook, which is king, always king, and very hard to dethrone, obviously. Instagram is pretty much queen at that point because it is tied at the hip to Facebook. Snapchat, young upstart prince, and Twitter at this point is the court jester. I love Twitter. Used to be my favorite channel. It has just taken a series of tumbles and some very silly mistakes that they have made. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they were purchased by the end of the year, but for all intents and purposes, their ad platform, and engagement is just really inferior compared to everybody else. And LinkedIn, I mean, I don't know, curmudgeonly bishop or whatever you want to call them, but they're not really on the scene unless you're in B2B. We will touch on them today and tactics to use them in B2B because first and foremost, we are a B2B agency, but for today's purposes, we're going to be talking about Facebook, as I mentioned. So let's look at what some of the things that have happened over this little while. So organic reach with Facebook has been continuously stymied. It used to be almost 100%. You would post something, people would see it. It's down below 10% in many situations now. You can get it over depending on the engagement factor you have. We're going to show you some stuff that does get it over that 10% mark. But organic reach is still critical because it is free reach. You don't have to pay. With them stymieing organic, it is in an effort to make businesses and companies pay to be able to reach their audience. So there's no two ways about it. I mean, there's one very easy reason why they did it. Now, when we talk to a lot of companies when they're trying to grow their social following, they don't really have a plan on how they expect to actually grow that social following. They just say, we want more followers. Well, why? Well, they have no idea. How are you going to do it? And what you end up seeing a lot of is either people will default to let's pay for followers, which there's one of two ways you do that. One, you create the promotion on Facebook, which is a legitimate way of doing it, and it's great, you know, but it can cost you anywhere from 10 cents to $5 a like on your page. Yes, that is a $5. They can get pretty expensive. The other way is you go out and you buy a bunch of spam followers. I never suggest doing the second one because there is a Facebook algorithm and they do recognize spam accounts. And if you are out there buying fake followers, what will end up happening is you're actually going to hurt the reach of your posts for pretty much ever. There have been some case studies on where people have gone out and purchased 20,000 followers and then have gained 20,000 followers legitimately, and their organic reach to the following 20,000 is almost nil because of the activity of purchasing spam followers. So always recommend never doing that. Now, growing your audience with your message is very difficult. And what I mean by that is your company's tagline, your company's marketing message. A lot of people will post their blog posts. Cool. If your blog posts are a press release, nobody cares. I hate to tell you, if you're saying, hey, we offer these services, nobody's going to engage with that. If you're saying we just released this, again, people, they're not going to engage with these types of things. Instead, there's a mantra that I like to use when it comes to social, and it's engage with fluff, convert with more significant stuff. And what I mean by that is to get an engagement, to get someone to follow you, to get them actually wanting to interact with you on social media, you have to get an emotional response from them. As I just previously said, you're not going to get an emotional response by sharing a product line or a boring blog post or something like that. What you're going to get an emotional response from is things that they are emotional about, your audience. So when you create out your buying personas and your audience targeting, and you have these psychographics on them, you know what they engage with and you know what they like, and you want to create pieces of content on social media that they are going to engage with. So if you're targeting small business owners, entrepreneurs, hustlers, if you will, the ones that do everything and are always they wear the many hats of the business, you want to get the pieces of content that you see them engaging with. And honestly, a lot of that stuff that they engage with is motivational things. And so posting motivational images, posting motivational videos, or posting, sit downs or videos that have not dignitaries, but visionaries in the field like Gary Vee or Warren Buffett or something like that, where they talk about that stuff, you see that entrepreneurs engage with that. You'll say, well, that's not really our message. It doesn't matter. Again, you want to engage with them. You want to get them to follow you, because if you can get them to follow you, then they will be on board for your next message. And that's when you can convert them with more significant stuff. Again, you engage them with the fluff that might not be on message, that isn't necessarily pushing the company line, but you know it's going to get engagement from them, okay? So with that, let's look at two things that happen on social media. First, social posts with images get about 2.5 times the amount of engagement as those without images. And video is absolutely eating social media, especially on Facebook. 8 billion views per day on Facebook. Okay, that is a B. And that is because they have a billion active users and everything is video now. And mind you, also, I know there's a caveat. Facebook counts 3 seconds of viewing as a view. That's garbage. So the number is actually true or much lower than that, but it still shows that video is crazy, okay? So for the first one, images. Always use images in your social posts. It is the way to go. Now, here's something that we've also noticed that many people don't realize is when you put a link into a post, it will propagate or populate it with an image. That is not the same as having an image in your post. We have done tests where if we just put a straight image in a post and then we put a link that puts an image in a post and we post those both, and they look the exact same, except one of them, when you click on it, it takes you away from Facebook, and one of them, when you click on it, it just expands out the image. The one with the image, wasn't even 2.5 times, it was a factor of 10x the amount of impressions that post got. So Facebook purposely shows images more than almost anything else. And a post that is just a link with a populated image is not an image, and it gets about 10 times less impressions than just the image, just so you're aware. So even if you wanted to just put up an image and then in the comment put in a link or a URL, that's more effective. It's harder to get people to click to it because they don't realize that, hey, I have to go to the URL. But if you're looking just for engagement, that is actually the better way to go with that. Okay, so you post these up and you can make them very eye-catching. You should use dynamic colors, use contrasting colors. There's this online software called Canva, which allows you to make some beautiful micrographics, as we call them, which are memes basically. But you can take quotes, put them on an image. There you go. I mean, that right there is a social post, and you know that it gets engagement. If you're targeting pet owners, put one about the love of a pet. If you're targeting entrepreneurs, put one that targets that. If you're targeting IT specialists because you're an IT services group, then put something about that makes IT people laugh. Regardless, at the very end of there, you want to evoke emotion. That is the key. You have to get some kind of emotional response. If you were just putting up a beautiful picture of the sky, and it says the sky is blue, I know it sounds silly, but you'll see some images on social that you just look at and say, what is the point of this? There's no point. They're just putting something up. But rather evoke some type of emotion, whether it's curiosity, humor, anger, something like that. You always want to ensure that you have the emotional response being initiated by the image. So you put this out, and now ask for engagement. There are multiple ways of doing it. You can ask for a share right there, or you can put up even images that force people in order to take an action to voice their opinion. Right here, I've seen many groups put up a dichotomy in the image where they will split it down the middle and they'll put two things, Ross versus Rachel or Pepsi versus Coke, and it says like for Pepsi or laugh for Coke or, those types of things. You don't want to do a negative one. Don't say anger or, something like that, because that can actually affect the algorithm in a negative way. You also want to avoid too much text in your image. Keep it about below 25%. They're being a little bit more lenient on that because that does stymie the reach that it will get. Regardless, I know it says that in ads, but it's for that in your organic posts as well. So you've put up these images and you're using images and you're getting a lot of likes and shares and comments. That's awesome. That's perfect. We'll get into what we do with that later. That's not the end all be all of this tactic. Okay. The other one we want to get into is the video. Now, creating videos, there's about 50 services out there. I would just go out there and say slideshow video, or there's ones called like Powtoon, and there are so many video production softwares online, SaaS products that you can make videos for free. They might have a little watermark or a little logo at the bottom right, or for very little money. But you can make explainer videos, you can do slideshow videos, you can do whatever you want. Facebook is actually doing this for you now. One of their newest features is that they take your images and they say, hey, we've made a slideshow video for you. It's not your images that are being shown as images. It's actually a video of your images, and it just cycles through them. So they're even telling you, you should be making these into videos. So take some of your memes and just put them through there. Take some of the micrographics and make them into an image. Take a webinar you did, like one we're on right now. record it, put it up on social media, take a slide deck, make it into an automated video that goes through the slides automatically. Whatever you do, just ensure that you're creating videos, because videos get so much engagement at this point, and you need to be using video on social media, both on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Every channel allows you to use video. Use video. Video is played without sound on almost every platform. Because of that, you have to be aware of it, and you have to look to add subtitles. Remember, add subtitles. There are services that do this. There are SaaS that do this. Facebook can actually do this for you. Okay, again, ask for the engagement at the end of the video. If they liked it, share it. Don't forget to like us. Do something, but ask. Everything you post, ask for the share. Ask for the engagement. It's not cheap to do that. I mean, it's not viewed as bush league. It's actually a very effective way, and they've shown that by asking for the action, you get the action numerous times. Okay. Keep it short and simple. Videos on Facebook, videos online in general, under 5 minutes get much higher view-through rates than anything else, and you have to catch their attention in the first 10 seconds. Do not have your logo on the screen for over 3 or 4 seconds. You shouldn't even start with your logo, quite frankly. Most companies make a big mistake by doing that. They have a splash image that they start again, you are capturing someone's attention as they are scrolling through Facebook on their mobile device. That happens for maybe 2 to 3 seconds. You have to catch them right then, and then you have to hold it. I say 10 seconds, but it's even shorter than that. But I don't want to, discourage you and make you think that you have to do it in 3 seconds. You really should, but yeah. Okay, so, and yesterday, Facebook is now infringing heavily on Snapchat. They are doing stories. They are also creating filters. They are doing disappearing videos as well. It's up at the top on the app. You should go test it out. It's kind of crazy. They all, I mean, they were obviously going after Twitter with a lot of their newsfeed changes, and then they went after Snapchat stories with Instagram, and now they are just blatantly taking all the best pieces of every other social media network and using them. So, and then I go back to, again, evoking emotion. Do it with whatever you're posting on social media. Always look for the emotional response. Now, you go through and you've gotten all these really cheap engagements. I will tell you right now, we have run campaigns where we are getting post likes, shares, comments, engagements on the post that you can then track and use for under a tenth of a penny. Again, a tenth of a penny for these engagements, because you're evoking emotion, you're targeting correctly, and yes, someone did ask about boosting posts. I boost everything. Why not? $5 behind it, get it a little bit of traction with your audience, and then they start sharing and engaging with it, and then you'll see your organic continue to grow and grow and grow. There's that little bar at the bottom of your post saying, hey, you reached 5,000 people. It will show how much was paid and how much was organic. You want to have that organic be the lion's share of that graph. If it's not, you're not engaging with your audience enough. You're not getting that proper pivot point of emotional response from them. And the way to really gauge that is by the relevancy score of your ad. And I like boosting, even if you boost something for $5, it's great, just because at that point, Facebook will give you a relevancy score. They're not going to give you a relevancy score on your normal post, but they will say a relevancy score on a boosted post, which now you know how people react. And it's on a scale of 1 to 10. And it's based on if they are liking it, clicking it, sharing it, all these types of factors, how many times it gets interacted with on an impression basis. So it's a quick, cheap, very inexpensive way of getting data, and it's also pretty critical on growing your audience. So again, you push that out. Now, I just said that page likes are anywhere from 10 cents to $5. Let's say you're getting them at about 45 cents, maybe $1 a click. But if you are getting an engagement at a tenth of a penny, and that's not uncommon. We see half a penny. Half a penny I actually think is not that great in my opinion. I know I can get it for much cheaper, so I look for usually under half a penny per engagement. And you then go through, and anybody who is engaged with your post, you invite them to now like and follow your page. If you get a 10% response rate on that, you are now getting people to like your page for a penny, sometimes less. You can usually get a much higher response rate than 10% if you have a very engaging page and people like your page. Again, you are emotionally engaging with them. They like that. And what you find is you can grow your following very aggressively this way. You do need to add multiple admins to the page because people do run out of invites that they are allowed to send in a daily basis. If you do not get a good response rate on your invites, Facebook will also stop you from being able to send out invites. So, just be careful that you're inviting the right people and that you're getting a good response rate and that there is a reason for them to want to follow your page. And you're going to add, like I said, additional admins so they can start inviting people, and you can get up to, a couple thousand invites a day after a little while. And this is one way to scale up your social following in a massive, massive, massive way. So as you look at that, you have the social following that is growing through these methods, and you are now doing it for a much, much cheaper rate, and they are following your page. Now, like I said, you can convert them with more significant stuff. If, yes, you still want to engage with them on more posts, and they will find stuff that's funny or engaging or whatnot, but now when you post about an article, about your blog, instead of posting it to the void where nobody engages with it, your blog post that you put on Facebook will get 10,000 impressions, and it will drive 500 visitors to your site. Or when you announce the new product launch, 5,000 people will see that, and it will drive 1,000 people to your website. So if you start with the boring, well, not the boring stuff, but again, if you start with the company messaging, it's going to be harder to grow. If you grow the engagement factor, and if you grow that trust, and you grow that audience that is receptive to you, now you can engage with it. Now it's more effective. It is not ideal to sit there and say, I'm going to pay for 10,000 followers to follow me at $1 a piece, at 50 cents a piece even. And now that I have them, now I'm going to go ahead and engage with them. Because even then, the more an audience engages with your site, the more likely they're going to see your post. So they may follow your page, but if they never like a single post you post, they're not going to see you that much in your newsfeed. You've probably noticed this. If you like ESPN a lot, or you like a crafting channel, you save some of their videos, or you've liked a post, or you've shared some of their posts, you are following them. If you engage with them, now you see them all the time in your newsfeed. You might follow other brands that you don't engage with. You rarely, if ever, see them. That's where we can get the engagement rate, the impression rate and the organic reach of your page over 10%. So again, don't buy and then just start pushing your message, because you're going to notice that, hey, I'm still not getting a good engagement rate. I have 10,000 followers, but only 500 people see that. It's because no one ever engages with you. That's why people aren't seeing your post. But now if you post and you get people to share and like, and you have 10,000 followers, you might post something that gets 5,000 engagements because you have such an engaged audience that is constantly liking your posts, they're constantly sharing it. That's the trick. That's what you want to go for on social media. Facebook is the ultimate algorithm for it. Instagram is starting to migrate towards that algorithm that you still get to see everything in Instagram. It's not quite like Facebook where it picks and chooses. You still will see everything. It's just it doesn't do it chronologically anymore. It kind of sorts it, but you will still see everybody you follow. So this one's a big one for Facebook. Okay, so technique number 2. Let's go off onto something else. Again, write down your questions. If you have any questions, we will be coming back over them. If you have one regarding Facebook or anything we just did there, I will address that at the end, not right now. So we're going to go through all of these, and then anybody who wants to stick around, we will be going through all these questions. So as you have a question, pop it into the question sheet. I'll be going back over that. Okay, most companies set up remarketing. I appreciate that. When we talk to clients, I'd say it's about a 50-50 where we see remarketing set up. However, most people utilize, ad roll, or they may use Google. There are really several channels you want to be remarketing on. Facebook and Twitter are 2, and you want to actually do it with their pixels. I know AdRoll says it remarkets on Facebook, but Facebook does not give them priority, and Facebook newsfeed remarketing is not utilized by AdRoll anymore. They can only get the right-hand bar. So with that, what you want to do is actually have a remarketing campaign set up in Facebook. Very, very effective. Twitter, again, very effective. And then LinkedIn, there's a trick there. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And then Instagram just piggybacks on Facebook. So your Facebook remarketing, just push it to Instagram. And then obviously have your AdWords remarketing or your Bing remarketing. I would say if you have AdWords, you now have access to 98% of the web. You really don't need more than, just trying to not bash any ad networks out there. But if you have Facebook, Twitter, and AdWords, you're covered. You don't have to manage 100 different ones, okay? So you have those. Awesome. Are you using remarketing list search ads? Are you using video remarketing? Do you have dynamic remarketing set up? Are people getting customized remarketing campaigns based on what they are doing on your site? There are lots of things you can do with remarketing, and the more time you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. So remarketing is something that's very easy to set up. Like I said, a lot of people put a pixel on their page, they put a couple of display ads up. I've got remarketing set up. The smarter you get and the more time you put into remarketing, you will see the results from it. And you can get very, very, very creative with remarketing. We're going to go into a couple of techniques and just think about how you could use those in creative ways. Okay. So again, remarketing on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. It's very easy to set up. You get the pixels from their ad networks, you put them up on your site, you create an ad, and now you can target that audience. If you've set up remarketing before, if anybody in your office has set up remarketing, they know how to do this. It's the exact same way as doing it for everybody else, so don't worry. Video ads that you produce or post, if you post a video and then boost it, anything that is boostable or anything that is an ad can be pushed into a remarketing campaign. So your videos on Facebook, use them in your remarketing. Your videos that are on YouTube, you can use those in remarketing. You can go into your remarketing campaign and you can create a video campaign and target just your remarketing audiences in AdWords. That allows your videos to show up on partner websites. It allows it to show up before videos roll. It allows it to show up mid-roll videos. You can also show them around on display pixels, because you'll notice that these Google ad widgets actually show videos sometimes now, even though they're not technically a video platform. So getting video set up on all of these channels as another form of ad is huge. It breaks up the monotony of seeing display ads all the time, and it's going to give you that kind of that shot to the arm that kind of wakes them up and says, hey, look, something new, it's something different. Okay, so you also that's video. I would recommend setting up video everywhere you can. Now you also want to set up dynamic remarketing in terms of, if you have a shopping cart, make it a shopping cart. But dynamic remarketing ads, they can be set up in Facebook and in AdWords. What it does is that you can do abandoned shopping cart. Hey, don't forget to check out with this. That's right there in Facebook feed, so they'll see the products that they were shopping for on your site now in their news feed, and they can finish up. Amazon is big on this. You've seen that all over the place. Google will allow you to create those ads elsewhere as well. Set those up. Those are not very difficult to set up. They are a huge ROI, probably one of the best ROIs you'll see for your spend as a retail or e-commerce group, okay? Back to the B2B groups. If you're targeting on LinkedIn, do not pay for LinkedIn remarketing. It is ridiculously expensive. They want their Pro Tools, which are like $25,000 a quarter, and you have to pay for people that are actually in your remarketing audience. But what's great is that remarketing on LinkedIn is super easy. LinkedIn does not have enough ads running to fill the inventory on their site. They sell a ton of their ad space to Google. Because of that, you can create any kind of remarketing ad you want and then specifically target LinkedIn. And so when your audience is now on LinkedIn, they will see your remarketing ads on LinkedIn for about 1/1000th the cost that LinkedIn would charge you to remarket on their platform. It's much easier. It's a better way of doing it, and it will save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, okay? So that's your social remarketing. We get into what I mentioned, RLSAs. What are RLSAs? Remarketing list search ads. So you know about AdWords, where someone searches a widget and your ad comes up and says, we're the #1 widget shop, shop our widgets. Or someone searches CRM and says, compare us to other CRMs. Cool. Did you know you can customize those ads based on actions people have taken on your site? And if people have already been to your site, you can show them a different text ad. You can nurture them through the funnel with text ads. It's a new product that's, well, not super new, but it's an amazing product that you can use. And it's very powerful when you think about all the ways you can do it. I've seen some very, very clever ways of people having a landing page for a trade show, pushing a lot of people to the trade show. If someone has hit that landing page, they are now in a specific marketing audience. If they search their brand or they search anything around their brand, they, instead of getting just the typical ad copy of, hey, we're the best widget shop, it was, love to see you at Widget Force 2015 or Dreamforce 2017. let's touch base again, or let's hook back up, or let's talk again. That right there, just by having that resonance with them on something they've done and bringing back up the engagement you've already had with them makes them so much more likely to click through. If it's more of an automated thing, you can say, if they've already added something to the shopping cart, customize the ad. Hey, don't forget to check out. Or if they've been to a demo page for your B2B site or their software site, say something like, hey, you've seen the demo, now check out this case study. Again, the same message over and over and over again to the same individual is not as effective as mixing it up. That's why I say use video, make sure to use RLSAs. Again, these are just ads that you create in AdWords, and then you segment out your lists within AdWords. All of these things that I'm talking about, I could go into a lot of detail about them, all of them. But this is more showing you that these are the things that you should be doing. Go and get a quick download on how to do them. There's YouTube videos, there's explainers on all of Google and Facebook show you how to do this in their own knowledge base. There's some amazing articles out there about how to use RLSAs effectively and some strategies on them. I would suggest doing some research on these things and using them. They are incredibly effective. And everything I've shown you so far is very, very low cost. The ROI on the Facebook activities, incredibly high. The ROI on remarketing, always, always, always very, very effective and very high. And then we talked about video remarketing. Again, this is just ensuring that you have videos posted on Facebook, on YouTube, and then you are adding those to the ad networks where you have those connected to. Again, it creates that persistent message. It gives a break in the monotony of the display ads, and it engages them in a way that text doesn't, because people do have banner blindness. People have learned to block out ads. By putting in video, you are now breaking through that. And it goes back also with the video, I just want to mention, and with your remarketing ads, and this is something I preach to everybody here at the agency, but everybody I talk to, is if you're marketing, always be engaging, always be evoking emotion. So your videos, have a reason for them. Your images, get an emotional response. If you can evoke an emotional response, your marketing's 90% done. You got to get an emotional response from someone. So always be thinking of ways to be creative, and creativeness evokes emotion out of people. So the more creative you can get, the more persistent you can be, the more fun you can be with your marketing, the more response you are going to get. Okay, the next one is going through for SEO. Now this one, I want you to know that I'm going to be talking about some stuff that if you're not totally aware of SEO, ask the questions. I can go over it afterwards with you. I do worry that I sometimes go a little too deep on SEO. It is my core competency, and sometimes I'll say stuff without realizing that people probably don't know what I'm talking about. So if I do say something, shoot me a question in the question tab. We'll go over it at the end. But I do want to show you how to get some very, very quick wins out of your SEO. Okay. So SEO, first off, does not have to take forever. You can make changes on your SEO and you can get keyword relevancy for a page overnight. You can, show up on the first page in Google within 30 days, within a week, within almost no time at all if you do certain tactics. You also need to start changing the way you think about SEO. A lot of people are aware of their money keywords, their head keywords, their major keywords, however you want to talk about them. But if I was Salesforce, my keyword would be CRM. It's my main keyword I go after. If I'm a widget shop, it's widgets. If I'm a shoe shop, it's shoes. Those keywords are usually very difficult to rank for, and they are usually very competitive. They have a lot of volume, so people rush for them. But what I would like you to look at is, instead of looking after that, look for buying intent out of your keywords. If you can show buying intent in your keywords, all of a sudden you are sidestepping the fluffy keywords that have a lot of volume but maybe have a lot of looky-loos or are being brought up in a lot of weird situations. Because again, if you're ranking for shoes, you're ranking for shoes, but people might be looking for images of shoes. People might be looking for a long-tail version of the keyword shoes, which shoes are bad for this, or how do I clean my shoes? Well, if you're selling shoes, you don't want people to be finding you how to clean again, the money keywords, yes, they have some big ones, but the buying intent keywords are where I really like to go with it. Okay, so here's how you do it. This is a quick step. Again, this will be recorded. You can go after this and get it and look into this, but I will explain what you're doing, and then these are the steps to do it. What you're going to do is you're going to go into your Google Analytics, and you're going to identify which pages on your site people are finding from the search engines. I know that sounds simple, but think about it. You can see landing pages in Google Analytics. If someone lands on your site, that's the first page they see on your site. If they are doing that from an organic channel, then they have found you through some type of search. You would say, well, Mike, why don't I just go into Search Console and say, show me the keywords? Because this is not the keyword tracking. So when you're going to do this, you're going to notice that you have a lot of pages that show up that you probably weren't expecting. You think people find you because of your main product pages or your main solutions pages or something like that. But what's funny is when I first did this, I found that we had a blog post that randomly was outranking or drew more traffic than all of our other pages combined. And this actually is very common, where someone will have a blog post up and that blog post drives an immense amount of traffic because they just randomly hit on some kind of long tail keyword that wasn't very competitive. They ended up in the #1 spot and they used it. The one that we had was, what was the difference between B2B and B2C marketing? And as a keyword, it's kind of crap. I mean, I'll be honest with you, there's not a lot I can do with that keyword. People are searching, what's the difference? Great. That probably means they are at the very beginning of even starting their marketing journey. They're probably not looking for an agency to help them out. So was it really useful for me? Not really. And what first thing it did is it allowed me to take my pixel off that page, so I wasn't remarketing to a bunch of people that were finding my website for random reasons. There's this other site that I know that they create custom embroidered patches, and they sell custom embroidered patches. One of their top pages is a blog post on what is the meaning behind the Sons of Anarchy patch, which is a patch for a motorcycle group on TV. Their bounce rate to that page is super high because people come, find out what the meaning is, and then they bounce away. And are they looking to buy their patches? No. And if their remarketing pixel is up on there, then you're showing your remarketing ads to a bunch of people that really are never going to convert from you. And what's the point of it? So this is where you're going to find that you have a lot of fluff keywords floating around in your website. We all know we have them. That's what they are. But you're going to find some diamonds in the rough. And what I mean by this is you're going to notice that there are some pages that you weren't expecting to rank that are doing really well, or you will see a page that you were expecting to do really well not doing so hot. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at your top 20 organic pages. These are the pages, again, you go into Google Analytics, click on behavior, site content, landing pages, add a segment, select organic traffic. Now every page you see there is a page that people have come in via the Search Console. Again, this has been up for a while. You can go back and look at it on the video as well when you're doing this afterwards. Those pages, as you go and examine them, you're going to want to go to a tool like Ahrefs, SEMrush. Those are the two I like, SEMrush or Ahrefs. And you're going to take that page, the entire page, not your website, because people usually do keyword research on their entire website. But you need to be looking at this on a micro scale and start taking individual pages. And so you're going to take a page, you're going to pop it into these keyword research tools, and it's going to show you the exact keywords that those pages are ranking for. And what you're going to find out, and what I kind of discovered, was when I did this a couple years back, we as Foxtail are again, a B2B focused agency, and we like to work with SaaS companies or tech companies. And I noticed that this random page I had put up of SaaS marketing and just talking about the differences in SaaS marketing was ranking for all of these random SaaS marketing keywords. And I looked at it and I go, well, that was a blog post talking about SaaS marketing, but I like SaaS marketing and I like clients that come in from SaaS marketing. So what can I do with this SaaS marketing keyword relevancy? So what I did was I created a page that said, and I looked at it and I said, oh, sorry, someone else said, what was the other tool? Ahrefs, the letter A, H, Hank, refs, refs.com. Okay, so SEMrush and Ahrefs. Anyways, so I see SaaS marketing and I say, well, I'm going to take that page and I'm going to make it more viable for buying intent, because I looked at all the keywords on there and some of them were like, what is SaaS marketing, or how do you do SaaS marketing? And then one of them was SaaS marketing agency. And I saw that keyword and I go, wow, if someone's searching for that, they're looking for a service provider. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I know that's a high buying intent keyword. So I went and created a page that was called SaaS Marketing Agency. And I optimized it for SaaS Marketing Agency. I did and if you want to know what I did, I will email you a template of how to set up a page if you'd like. You can just email me at Mike@Foxtail Marketing. I'll send you a template of how to mock up a page perfectly for SEO. But there are a lot of pages you can go to on the website, on the web. You just search, how do I optimize a page for SEO? It'll tell you. So the H1s were there, the alt image tags were there, the schema was great, all of it was perfect, exactly how I wanted. Then I took this blog post about SaaS marketing and I redirected it over to this now actionable page that talked to a buying intent of SaaS marketing agency. And now we rank #1 for SaaS SEO agency, SaaS marketing agency, SaaS content marketing agency, and we are #1 nationally for those. Now, those keywords don't have a ton of volume. They don't. I get that. They are by far the most valuable keywords we have ever ranked for, because everybody that finds those keywords are a potential customer of ours, and everyone that sees those keywords are having some type of buying intent in their customer journey. So I would rather rank for that keyword than I would be for #5 in SEO agency nationwide, or SEO, or marketing, or some broad keyword like that. If you can go really laser focused and get these great keywords, and you think about it from a retail intent, start going into, instead of tables, start talking about, we have a client that does cabinets, for instance. I know we're B2B, but we do have some B2C clients, but they target, again, so sorry, the questions are popping up, so that was getting through. But so they target cabinets. One of their best keywords is not kitchen cabinets. Yes, kitchen cabinets is great. They rank for kitchen cabinets, but they rank they rank well. I'm not going to say, because then you can identify who they are, but they rank really well for the keyword shaker cabinets. And it's a style of cabinetry, and white cabinets and black cabinets and oak cabinets, and these longer tail versions of these keywords. And when they go after these longer tail versions, they're showing that people are doing more research, that they're more interested in what they're searching for, and there is a higher buying intent whenever you do that. So if you're trying, again, to rank for shoes, that's probably not the best. If you sell golf shoes and you sell a very certain type of golf shoe, or you sell running shoes, or you sell certain doors, or you sell a software, like I said, Salesforce, CRM, but instead of targeting CRM, you say CRM for sales teams, or CRM optimized for spas. Again, don't try and boil the ocean with your keywords. Go spearfishing with your keywords. That's the trick here. And by doing this, you're going to identify pages that, again, have keyword relevancy that you weren't aware of. And if you spend time on those pages, optimizing them, you can make them rank incredibly fast. You will notice that some of these pages are sitting on the 5, 6, 7 position for keywords. That's just outside the money is zone. You want to get them to the 1, 2, or 3. So by doing some optimization on those pages, you can quickly move from a 6, 7 position up to a 3 or a 2 position and getting immediate traffic from it. You can start finding pages that you weren't ranking for really well at all, but that you saw high buying intent on those keywords. And now, instead of tracking this one keyword, you're now going after this other one that is going to bring you in a lot more money. You're going to start seeing these patterns. So again, take the time. You're going to start noticing it. You're going to start doing really well on those pages. You know what? If you do have a blog, don't kill a blog. Sometimes blogs are great. I talked about redirecting the blog. You know, some people say not to do it. It worked incredibly well. I do it quite often, actually. But if your blog is great and it's an informative thing, so some people are asking a question and it takes them to a blog and the blog answers it, awesome, leave it there. But put a call to action in there. Put an inline download of your ebook, or to attend a webinar in the blog post. Put a contact form on the right side. Make sure that the page that they are at least coming to is optimized for conversion. That's the other thing that you'll notice, is people optimize all these pages that no one's ever going to see. But the pages that people are seeing aren't fully optimized. So go and find the pages that people are finding you through the search engines, and then optimize those. Is that search engine optimization? Yeah, because if they're finding you through the search engine and now it's conversion optimized, that's optimization. Search engine optimization. It doesn't always have to be just for keyword rankings. It can be from their actions once they get to your page. Okay, so these are just some questions you should ask. Do you have calls to action? Is the content, can it be enhanced? If it's in the 5 and there's only 100 words of content on there, what if you put an FAQ on there? What if you put a couple of other paragraphs in there? What if you added some images to it? What if you did some outbound links? There's a lot of things you can do very quickly that will jump it from the 7 to the 1, from the 7 to the 2, very, very quickly, just by doing a little bit of optimization on a page. And that's it, okay? I want to go back to what I was talking about earlier when it came to Facebook and social. Digital marketing follows Newton's law, third law, to the T. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. You see a lot of people kind of give lip service to digital, or they don't put that much time into their digital and they expect amazing results. It very much is what you put in, you will get out. If you are if you're expecting amazing results with very little input, you will be sorely disappointed. If you are expecting unexpected results by doing everything else that everyone else is doing, that's the one that drives me crazy, is if you're doing everything exactly like everyone else, why on earth would you expect a different result? You must do something unexpected. You must do something different to get different results. With these tactics that we're talking about, like I said, I see hundreds of websites a month. Maybe 0.5% of them are doing things that we're talking about here effectively. So if you are going to do that, now you're going to get unexpected results, because you're, instead of working harder, work smarter, because you can get results either by just putting in raw brute force, putting in a ton of budget, and then getting out the results, or you can be incredibly creative and smart about what you're doing and get better results out of it. Okay. So if you have any other questions, like I said, reach out to me at Mike at Foxtail Marketing. I'm happy to answer any questions. I can share with you guys anything afterwards. The Bridgeline team, thank you very much for hosting this. They will be sending out the video and some to everybody who did attend. If you have any questions regarding Bridgeline, as I mentioned, Bridgeline, their marketing automation tool, Unbound, best I've seen in the market in terms of functionality. Their pricing is incredible. When you look at it, if you are paying for contacts right now, if you have a marketing automation suite that charges you on the amount of contacts you have, you need to talk to them. That is where you will save a ton of money, because they don't charge you for that. You can reach out to Amanda. She's awesome. There's her email right there. You can just go to bridgeline.com. Okay, so Q&A section. Let's go through that real quick. So let's see. People are interested, I'll send over the template. We'll make sure we get that out. So someone, did you literally redirect the page to a new page, or do you mean that you helped push people from the original? No, I 301 permanently redirected that page over to the new page. Because again, the SaaS marketing blog post that I had up wasn't really convincing anybody to use us. Moving them to a page if they were searching for, and again, I gave up a couple of, I gave up some relevancy in keywords like what is the best way to market what is the best way to market your SaaS product? Yeah, I gave up on that keyword a little bit, but I pivoted that keyword to SaaS marketing agency, which I knew was going to be much more effective for me from a money point of view. So there are a lot of times that I put up blog posts that rank for keywords that help with my keyword relevancy of my website. Cool, I'm not going to change those. But if I see one that starts ranking for something very close to a buying intent, it is very, very easy to take that blog post and now move it over. Plus, blog posts get links much easier than product pages do. So if you have links to your blog posts, by redirecting it 301 to the page, now you've transferred that link juice to an internal product page, which is very hard to get because, you know, there's a lot of times where our blog posts have been linked to by Yahoo, Entrepreneur, MSNBC, Business Insider. We get a lot of links like that to our blogs. I don't get any links like that to our product pages, but if I 301 redirect the blog, now I do. So that's one way of doing it, and really, you're not going to lose a lot of keyword relevancy. I would recommend not doing it if it's ranking for a very high volume keyword that brings in a lot of traffic. I would do it if it's ranking for more niche, smaller keywords that you don't mind if you lose a little bit of relevancy for those, but you gain a lot in other keywords. Okay. So another question we have on here: is there a better time to sponsor a post? For example, right after you post it, should you wait 12 hours to see if it gains any organic traffic? Does this affect the algorithm? You know, it's a good question, and I'm not quite sure on that. My rule of thumb is I post, I promote right away, because I know that freshness is an indicator in their algorithm, and the fresher a post is, the more likely it is to show up in a lot of news feeds. So I want to get as much traction on that post as fast as possible while it still has all the benefits of the freshness right away. So I post and I boost, I post and I boost, I post and I boost. And if you think about it, if you're doing a post a day on Facebook and you have $5 to boost per post, it's $150 a month. Most people can come up with $150 a month if you're a small business. If you're a large business, get aggressive with it. Why not? If you're spending that money on ads that don't work, at least build out a following that you know you can go back to over and over and over again, and not get and not have to pay for it. So that's something I would recommend is boost everything, and you're really going to, because again, you're going to get the data and you're going to start realizing what your audience engages with. I now know there are certain types of videos that people engage with more than others. I know that there are certain types of images that people engage with over others, because I have boosted them, and I see that anytime I use humor, I get a 7 or an 8 relevancy. Anytime I use curiosity, I get about a 6 or a 5. Anytime I use something boring, I get about a 3 relevancy. So I know that if I want to keep getting attention, I'm going to be using a lot of humor. I'm going to, emotion, sadness also does really, not sadness in the, like I'm going to make someone cry, but rather longing, or reminiscent, or man, I lost the name of the nostalgic. There you go. Nostalgia does really well too. So it's a type of sadness, you know what I mean? But strong emotions usually give you strong relevancy scores, and those get you really, really high engagements, which you then turn around and make into followers by, again, inviting them to your page after the fact. Okay. Doesn't Facebook frown upon asking for shares, likes in the text of a post? That hurts in the algorithm. Again, if you're in a video, they don't know. You can, at the end of the video, say, hey, remember to share this with friends. Or if you're in a post, yes, if you're doing an image post, don't say share this. But if you say, which one do you like, use the images of the like, or the happy, or the laugh. There's no way for them to crawl that and say that you're asking for a share, and you're not saying it in the text of the post. It's really when you put it in the text around the post that they don't like that. So try and avoid it in those sections. All right, other people wanting the documents. And that is, oh wait, yeah, that's it for questions right now. Again, if there are any other questions, go ahead and try and get them in real quick. I'll stay on for just another minute. You will be getting the recording of this, so you can share it around if you'd like. If you have any questions, you can email me after the fact. But it's been great being with everybody today. Hope you all have an awesome rest of the week, and happy hump day to you. Thank you very much.